station. 3, 2.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We're reaching for the top, and we'll never fall below.
I do my hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? My hair talk, check my nails.
Productions.
Hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair talk, hair.
You muted again.
It never fails. I swear it never does.
Together one of these days. I swear I am. I'll get together.
This is terrible.
And I'll be ready. I sure
You
do.
be so ready.
I
Like you
swear.
can see it all in your face that you be like, and we're back for another episode.
Another blooper. Boom.
All right. Rewind. Right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Cheer Chatter Podcast. I am Q.
I'm
Okay.
Isha.
Okay. At the same time.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
because we in
Okay.
different orders that we usually
Yeah.
in. Normally,
Oh.
I'm at the bottom and she at the top. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's all right.
All right. So today we kind of just gonna go off the brain and just have a conversation. We couldn't really come up with a topic that we really wanted to talk about, but we did have a lot of
Because
things.
last week
Yeah.
last week we got to bring it back down because last week was.
Last week was very entertaining. Let me say that.
If you missed last week, please go on our YouTube channel and view it. You're probably
Please.
gonna watch it multiple times.
Yes, and we did get very good feedback. Shout out to Boy Anderson's coach, Miss Coach Daphne. She said she laughed the entire episode. She said she really enjoyed it, and it made her actually go back and watch some previous episodes as well. So shout out to her. She really enjoyed it. I think we should bring the guys back for another topic, another episode later on down the line, because
We gotta give it at least a month because I don't know if I can do that right now.
Listen, that's why I said later on down the line. We're not gonna bring them up this week, but we got them. We definitely need a break. We need a good break because that was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot. So
yeah, because we have a new thing now. Cheer chatter, yay!
So shout out to Mike and Harold that joined us last week for their little trivia about cheer. It definitely was a good and when it finally kind of came together, it definitely was a very good conversation that we had with the guys in terms of their cheer experience and what they acknowledge cheer to be, and the fact that they do respect it and understand it to be a sport now. So definitely was a good conversation. So we do get some time, definitely go back and watch that episode and all the previous episodes on our YouTube channel at Cheer Chatter 23. All right. So
look for the logo.
Now last week, we experienced the BCA All-Star Media Day. And if those who don't know, when we provide media to the competitions, we do, we have fun with the ladies, as well as we ask them some very good questions concerning cheer. We have them do a cute little boomerang, and we do like some promo videos for our social media pages. We also take pictures and just pretty much we interact with the girls. Just to let them know that Cheer Chatter is present and that, again, we covering all things cheer.
And we here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And we are here. So, Kamisha, what was your experience with the media day last week? And shout out to all the BCAA All-Star cheerleaders from all the schools. I would not try to remember all those schools, but we are going to give a special shout out to our two favorites. Are we not? Our two favorite schools. If I personally knew their names, I would say their names. I cannot remember the names.
I can't either. But oh my God. So my BCAA All-Star moment gave me a flashback. Because I was a BCAA All-Star cheerleader my senior year. So from what I remember, they pretty much follow the same Not in a bad way. Let me change the way I said same, because they kind of gave tired of the same thing. Not really. So pretty much they pretty much do it the same way they've done it before, where each cheerleader's supposed to bring two cheers. They're supposed to come with an offense and a defense cheer from their school to teach to the other girls, and then they kind of alter it based on whatever side they're on, north or south. So I got to give it up to the South area because baby, they was giving me all the energy in their cheers. Like they were literally more, no shade to the North, but they was giving so much energy during their practice time. I literally heard them from the parking lot and they were into it. They were ready. They had all the spirit, all the energy. It was very giving to me. So my experience was very entertaining, especially with interviewing the girls. I have to give a shout out to the two schools that kept me and Shira in stitches the entire time we were interviewing them, and that was South Plantation High School. Kudos to the Paladins and Cypress Bay High School, aka the Lightnings, and then they do their love.
Yes, that was so
That
cute.
was so cute to me. But South Plantation kind of reminded me and Shira of ourselves in high school. They were us reincarnated because one acted like me and one acted exactly like her. And so when they were talking to each other, the conversation like really hit home because it felt like a conversation that we had and still have to this day. And then Cypress Bay. Oh my God, I wish I knew that little girl's name, and I'm gonna find out who she is. But she gave me the best bloopers for recording of the video because she had the giggles out of this world. She could not get through saying her lines
They
or
were
responding to the question.
adorable because it was
The
like
two,
they were trying to. So the one that was serious was trying to get the other one together, and then when the
and then
one
she
that was
ended up giggling.
then she ended up doing the giggles. So they kind of was feeding off of each other, but they were adorable. They really
the
were. They
the really unique part about it was majority of the girls who were chosen were cheer crime partners together. They were the two who get in trouble in practice together, goof around in practice together. Like they meshed well. So every time we interviewed the two girls, I was like, y'all be getting in trouble together in practice, don't you? And they'd be like, how did you know? I say, because clear as day is showing when we're interviewing the way y'all talk to each other to get, to say their lines together, the way they talk to each other and laugh and giggle, you could tell they be getting in trouble with their coach at practice. It was so evident, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I laughed so hard the entire day. I have to give a shout out to the coaches for the selection because it was everything. Every set of girls that participated literally were a great pair to each other. They fed off of each other and it was great. Their energy was everything. To the girls who didn't know about Cheer Chatter, they were excited to learn about us.
and followed us immediately. As soon as they got their phones,
As soon as they
their
got their
phone,
phones, they
they
started
was
following us
following. Yeah.
immediately. And they like some of the girls put them on to what we were doing, and they were excited about the signs and everything. Shout out to St. Thomas for putting the other girls on because they was boasting and bragging about Cheer Chatter. The same two young ladies from when we did media day at West Broward. They were two of the cheerleaders from St. Thomas.
Yeah.
And then I have to give my last shout out to the two coaches because baby,
yes,
the coach from Miramar, love her to pieces because baby, she was rubbing on that sign and she was so excited about touching the sign. She's like, "Oh my God, I finally get to touch the sign." Oh, I waited for this moment.
yes,
So
and
we was laughing so hard. So
yes.
she was putting the North coach on to Cheer Chatter, and she was like, "I love you guys. You guys talk about topics that a lot of us have been concerned about. The signs are everything. The girls are starting to love it. They're cheer buzzing about it. That's another word to Chictioneer.
Cheer buzzing.
Cheer buzzing about it. And so they did a promo that I'm gonna share by the end of the week. And when I tell you they shared their stories during the interview, it was great. I had an amazing time. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah. So shout out to Miramar's coach as well as to
Coral Springs.
Coral Springs high school coach, the coach. They both were they were amazing. It was a great experience. Now I do want to say this, coaches, when you are selecting your all-stars, please make sure
all stars all around. Oh, sorry,
they
go
need to
ahead.
be all stars all around. They have to be engaging. This is an opportunity that for them to be able to engage with the other young ladies who are also all stars, as well as you never know. This is a networking opportunity. You never know who you are going to be in contact with, being in close proximity with. So engage. That particular day we were there, they were doing the kicking. They were doing a kicking contest with the cheerleaders.
Now
I have.
it was entertaining because they told me, I don't see how football players do this.
Yeah, so kicking is not cheerleaders' things. It was very obvious that it's not their things, but shout out to all the girls who gave it a go. Some of those kicks didn't go nowhere.
Oh.
There were a few of them that they were
I
wide
think one girl
right.
I think one girl actually kicked it in the field goal. Only
She
one.
did not make it. She got close to it, but it didn't.
Closer than I would have got.
It didn't go in. It was like, if this is the field goal, it was like
close enough.
It was close, but she didn't go.
So basically, the only kicking we need to be doing is with our legs, not
That's
on
it.
a ball.
That's it. That's all we got for you. So, but it was a great experience. I definitely think next year, we would definitely need to be at the game as well. But the actual media day was a lot of fun. We got a lot of great pictures. I was able to take pictures of most of the cheerleaders or those who wanted to participate. We got pictures with them, and they got shout out to Coconut Creek cheerleaders. I think I have about the majority of the film is with those two. They was like, okay, can we do this pose? Oh, can we come over here on the field? Okay, I want to take one. And it was like, you know what? This is what we're here for. We're here to have fun with y'all. This is a great experience for you ladies.
They were great during their interview as well. They really were.
Yeah. So Coconut Creek, y'all, they were adorable, and they were both checking each other. They was like, wait, how's my hair? Does my hair look okay? And then it was two of them.
Holding each other accountable.
Yes.
For the look. Literally. Yes. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
So the young ladies were great. They were great. And it was just coaches, make sure whoever you decide to select as all-stars, they have got to represent your school all the way. Be engaging, participate. Don't be nervous, scared, or standoffish. Just have a good time. This is a great time.
But I digress.
Yeah. That too. But the vast majority of the cheerleaders, they were great. They were really, really good. So we definitely enjoyed ourselves. And thank you so very much to BCAA for including Cheer Chatter and the media day for our cheerleaders. We definitely I'm happy that we're able to provide that for you guys. So we do have some exciting news that we want to share with everybody. If we haven't already done, I don't think we have it already. Did we share with them already? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think we have.
Well, are you ready? Drum roll. Cheer Chatter will be your go-to when it comes to the 2024 BCAA competitive cheerleading competition. So Cheer Chatter will be in the building. And we have.
Oh, and guess what else? Guess who else gonna be in the building?
Oh, wait, hold up. Time out.
I already told them.
It will be in the building. We will be in the building, y'all. So we get to actually have a full 4 in the building for the BCAA cheerleading competition. And that's going to be on Saturday, January 13th, 2024 at the Dillard High School. Yes.
Yes. H-E-E, all caps.
T-H-E-E. Yes, at the Dillard High School, home of the Mighty Panthers, in the Herman Pittman Gymnasium. We will be in the building, so definitely stop by, see us. We will probably have our mics. We're going to be interviewing people in the crowd. We're going to be in the building. So
Listen,
make sure y'all be there. Stop by. You know,
Oh,
shake.
and listen, you know what I want to do?
what?
Y'all need to study y'all cheer chatter trivia because I
Hello.
want to ask them some questions about us, child.
I
Cheer
like
chatter
it.
trivia.
I like where you're going at,
Gotta
Ishmael.
make
I
we
like
make that
this.
post. Gotta make that a post. What
Yes,
is
I like
do you
that.
know your cheer chatter trivia?
You know it. That and you
I'm
better know it,
excited.
or you
I'm
gonna give us some.
excited.
You gonna
I'm
give us
excited.
20. If you
Now,
don't know it,
listen,
you're giving us 20.
we will have
You
the
ain't
signs.
decided 20 what? I might need $20.
Oh,
You might want 20 jumper jacks.
Cheer,
Nisha might
cheer
want
jumping
20
jack.
leg kicks, but it's gonna be 20 of something.
something.
I wouldn't ask y'all for no money. I'm
No,
joking.
no, but
It's a joking
But
joke.
we'll
definitely.
have the signs because though that has been a thing for us. Everybody loves the signs, and let me be clear: them sign ideas came to me in the middle of the day.
So definitely,
But I'm
make
glad
sure.
to see that y'all love them because
Yes,
everybody keeps asking for them. That is literally the first thing people ask for when they see us. And we would like to say thank you for the recognition outside of Cheer Chatter. It warms our hearts to know that you guys are watching, following, remembering who we are. It feels good that we're getting the traffic in which we are seeing. Keep it up. Please continue to tune in, chime in, like, share, subscribe, and watch.
absolutely. So, and then right before we go into what we're gonna talk about today, if you have a competition coming up, definitely, and you want Cheer Chatter to provide media for you, we are available. Definitely feel free to email us at cheerchatter23@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram. Our Instagram is cheer__chatter. We definitely would love for you all to invite us, and we definitely will come. We will provide the media, have a good old time with the girls, and post you all on our social media pages. So today we are going to start off with some of our memories when it comes to cheer. And that can be good, bad, fun, funny, hilarious, whatever. So, just memories that we have, because I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure you all who's been following us know that we also going to be asking the same question to our viewers. What are some of your memories? We want to hear from you all as well. What are some of your memories about cheer? Why do you love cheer so much?
Get put the question on the blue line. You know how ESPN gets the yellow line. Put the question on the blue line.
I'm going to do it right now.
She's talking about put it on the blue line. I'm done. I can't. Terrible. Okay.
Who's going
Oh,
first?
okay. Pause before we start. I have to ask this question because Ish sent us a message about it. So I noticed that you've been watching Cheer in the GA. So I just want to know before we start, with your experience from watching GA in Florida, what is your perspective? Sorry to bring this up last minute, but I have to ask. Can you
It's
give us your
cool.
experience?
It's cool. So football season, I didn't watch it as much because a lot of Fridays I wasn't in town. I was
Mm-hmm.
actually traveling to Najalie's games. Um, but the girls that I was seeing on a normal basis was Alexander High School, which is where Mike was coaching, and they have a mixed group of girls,
Mm-hmm.
black, white. Some of them look like they have a lot of all-star experience. Some of them look like they just high-spirited girls and just wanted to cheer. And then you kind of look across the field depending on who they're playing, because they had some real inner city teams that they played, and then they had some teams that was just like them. Never really experienced them playing the schools that were like more predominantly white.
Mm-hmm.
um it was either a mixed group or a very black group. And it's a lot of stump shaking, y'all. If you have been watching, you know how we feel about stump shake. Hate it. Okay, hated it. Like on your living color. That that's me all day. Um, however, you can tell their background. You can tell, like, for instance, you can tell Alexander, they're more of a competition team from what I can see. I think they do well competition wise. I never asked, never really cared to. But the other teams are more like game day. So these girls are more so picking up what they see from other teams and doing it because it's entertaining. Now it's basketball season. So all you hearing is thump shake. Boom, boom,
because of
boom,
the
boom, boom.
the thing.
Like
When
it's
Mike do it.
I
here's
can't.
my thing about thump shake, especially on this level. It's not my preference. If I coach the team, I would probably allow them to do it because that's what they like to do. And to be honest, when it comes to basketball, basketball is about having fun, in my opinion. I love basketball season because it was freaking fun. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is a lot of stuffing and clapping in basketball, especially in South Florida, because we sit to cheer.
Mm-hmm.
In Georgia, they stand during basketball season and they're still
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot of stumping and clapping. Um, it's better that way, in my opinion, for basketball because you distracting, you got to be louder than the fans, you got to engage the fans even more because you're in a very small space where the sound kind of echoes. So I would allow it, but we got to clean it up. Like it has to be cleaned up. It has to make sense. And that's what I'm gathering. Like a lot of these stump shake cheers, it don't make sense. It has nothing to do with the team. It's all about me showing out on you, me talking about how my team the best. It's not shoot two, shoot three, take the ball away. And then they don't switch it. Even if they do, they still talk about shoot that ball. Shoot that ball. Hey, hey, and we on defense.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Like, stop. Find a way to say take that ball. Take that ball. Hey, like it
I'm
makes
good.
no sense to me.
I don't know. It's something about that chill that just do it for me.
It's
Just that one.
cute. It's
Just that.
cute.
But I
But
see.
when you hear the same beat for about an hour and a half consistently from two teams, I be wanting to go up under the bench and cry.
So it's the battle. So they battling each other pretty
But
much.
it's kind of like it kind of reminds me of what
So
HBCUs do
this
as
last
well.
game on Friday that I went to, that was the first time I really saw the cheerleaders like really go back and forth. Like at the other games, it would be because, like I said, Mike's team, they look like they're better at competition. So they're a little cleaner. Um, they're preppy, but you got a couple of girls on there that got some soul. So, but the other teams are hood, and that's exactly what they are. They hood. I was trying to be nice to say inner city. No, they hood. So they're not clean with it or nothing. Like it's no prep about it. It's more, deep voice, your traditional, stump shade. So, they might go back and forth with one cheer, or I may call a cheer and you got the same cheer, so you'll call it behind me, but it ain't really no real back and forth. Y'all know how we used to do with Ely and BA. Like we could go back and forth the whole game, baby. But
Absolutely.
it wasn't really like that. But this past game, it was Paulding County and Alexander. Paulding County is a mix, but they had more of your hood girls, but then you had that kind of preppiness in it. And when I say it was these two captains, they were some big girls, but they was two captains. And when I say when it come to sass, they was giving it. They
Hmm.
was giving all the sass. It wasn't nothing clean about it, but it was giving all the sass. They wanted all the smoke. And them Alexander girls, they was giving them everything. And it was like, okay, here go a real battle. But it still was like, can I get a new beat? Can we talk about the team? Can we? I don't know. It's not. It don't give cheer. It gives step.
Mm. And that's what it to me. It gives not just cheer. I mean, not step, but it gives dance because of the I think, and I saw it. What was I saw it this weekend because I went to one of the state games in Tallahassee. Um, I saw the cheerleaders. They were doing instead of like 8 counts, and our 8 counts were cheer moves, but their 8 counts were like I if I wasn't someone who was it was giving me
Stands, dancer
it
ish.
was giving me that, and it was kind of like okay, I think the integration at this point, there definitely needs to be a defined line because it definitely their 8 count was definitely a whole stand that could have been done by the dancers in the band. So it's definitely starting to cross over with the whole disc, you know, and it was just it was definitely giving me band majorette stands in the in when they was doing their 8 counts when the band was playing. So is this where chilling is going now?
God, I hope not.
I hope not.
I said that a little too fast. My bad. Like some of the cheers are like really cute, depending on what they're doing. Like the cheer that Isha was talking about when she the shoot that
Shoot that
ball,
ball.
shoot that
Shoot
ball.
that ball.
Hey,
Hey, hey.
love that cheer because a lot of the middle school teams do it here, but they switch it up. They switch it up. They'll go to take that ball after they
Mhm.
the ball because with basketball the
It moved too
transition is
quick to
quick.
stay on one
Correct.
thing.
So when you do cheers, you have to have cheers that's versatile to the point to where right in the middle of stealing the ball, you could go right to take or get that ball or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Because I remember when we were cheering, that was one of the things that we used to love doing was switching the
Switch
cheers
up.
up. You be
With
right in the middle of the cheer, and and that was Isha thing. She used to love saying switch in the middle of a cheer. But
but you know what the thing also too is, and I always thought that was important. As a cheerleader, you should know the basics of that particular sport.
correct.
So you should know when it comes with football season, you should know the difference between defense and offense. And the same thing with basketball season. You should know the difference between offense and defense. So that
Or
way you
paying attention to the game at least.
yeah. Well, we really can't pay attention to the game, but if do a turnaround, quick glance, you should be able to see who's on the field. Is your
Mhm.
defensive unit on the field, or is your quarterback on the field? And for basketball, you should know: are they shooting at our basket, or they're trying to defend? You know what I'm saying? They're trying
Yeah.
to get the
Mhm.
ball back.
That's
So
always, I think lately that's been a pet peeve of mine, especially during football when the girls are still calling offense cheers and clear as day. We are no longer on offense. You ain't
yeah,
even ask nobody. You
And
just,
then here is my thing. Like you say, if you don't know, go to a spirit chant.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I digress.
definitely.
But
Okay.
yeah.
So
So that's my take on Georgia
I
Cheer
had to
from what
ask
I've
something.
seen thus far. I've been told that Georgia Cheer is supposed to be amazing. I haven't seen it yet. So can somebody lead me into the direction of the amazing Georgia Cheer? Because I have not seen anything amazing about Georgia Cheer yet. Nothing.
I
It's
think it's
actually very
gonna be
annoying.
whenever we do get to that point, I think it's going to be amazing to hear our comparison from Florida cheer to GA cheer. I would love to have that discussion once we get to a point of seeing what Georgia cheer is like. Because based on what Ish has been saying, and no ma'am, no ham, I'll pass.
And if it's anybody out there that does, maybe have a Georgia Cheer comp schedule or something like that, I don't be doing nothing. Like it's not football season no more, so I'm not traveling. Yeah, I'll be coming home for regional BCAA and state and all of that stuff, but I'm really like not doing anything. So I would love to see their competitions. I don't have a problem with going and being a spectator and watching it. Hell, it'll, take me back to what I love doing anyway instead of just doing what other people like to do. But I digress. I really want to see this great Georgia cheer that everybody hollering about because it's not giving over here in Douglasville.
Terrible. Okay.
Hey, Shakia.
Hey,
Hey, girl.
Hey.
let's bring back.
So let's bring it back. Let's talk about our cheer memories. So
Shimmeries.
Oh Lord. Listen,
you like that? Did you like how
Yes,
I did that?
shimmeries.
are we adding
Cheermories.
these words to the cheer scenario?
Who is the
Q
secretary?
Q was supposed to be the cheer scenario secretary. She had the list she had started.
Normally, you're the
I
data collector.
I am. Okay, so I'll go back. Because
I
Q
see you what I
started
have.
it.
I see you what I
Okay,
have.
that's fine. She started it, so I didn't touch it. But now I'll take it back. When she send it to me, I'll just keep adding the stuff. But
Yeah,
y'all
I gotta
remember,
add
y'all
some
make
on
sure
you.
y'all remember that word because when it come back up, what is the cheer chatter dictionary called? Cheer scenario.
Stationary.
All day. All right. So swinging it back, I had to ask you, Ish. I'm sorry, but
It's
that
fine.
that the conversation in which we had. If y'all was to see our text message thread, it I swear you'll be laughing all day. It's never a dull moment. But we're asking everyone to kind of chime in, give us your cheer memories as a parent, as a cheerleader, as a coach, good, bad, indifferent, your experiences. We're asking for participation. Tune in, chime in. Basically what your best or worst cheer memories are. Um,
So I'm gonna go first. And I think
oh
we
God.
said I
I
think
think you should go to one of our favorite cheer memories of your cheer time. It
which
would
That is
definitely
classic.
which one? Because it's a whole other
when y'all got kicked off the bus.
That part. Listen, I live for that story. Y'all was savage in the 90s. Let me tell you
yo, we
something.
was okay. So that day, I don't know what we were on, but we were on what we wanted all the smoke. We stood on business. That's what they say nowadays. We stood on business. We was I don't know what we were on, but
Y'all,
You were
listen, y'all
terrible.
stories be everything. Literally.
Y'all was
like
terrible.
I'm trying to tell you because I be literally trying to understand the concept. Like what y'all got, what y'all had going on.
listen,
Like
this
nothing.
was my junior year, so this was the 96-97 team. Um, so Dillon Gym was under a renovation. So all of our home games were at Pompano Beach High School. So that's where all our home games were. So we would have to travel all the way to Pompano Beach High School to cheer and then come all the way back to Fort Lauderdale. So we again, I don't know what we were on, but at the end of the day, we wanted that
Y'all was
smoke.
on one.
When we left, so after the game was over, we was just out. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, but we were under the one fight, all fight, one do it, all do it. We were under that impression. So it was like, hey, you want to wild out? We all gonna wild out. So before we even got on the bus to head back to Dillard High School, there was a pond out by the by Pompano Beach gymnasium. So we was cutting up through a whole game. We was like just doing whatever we wanted to do. Secretary was sick of our SHIT. She was sick of it. So if shit was here, we was all the way at the ceiling. That's how she was sick of us. So that's the first thing. We was wilding out the whole game. So she made us run the pond. So we ran around the pond. I can't remember how many times. So we dog tired getting on the bus. Dog tired, breathing heavy, sweating. We get on the bus. Secretary say, I don't want to hear a peep from nobody on the bus. I don't want to hear nothing. So the bus takes off, and then you hear peep, 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 peep. So Secretary was like, shut up, be quiet. I said I don't want to hear nothing. Nobody say so. Everybody like, okay, whatever. So as we get up on the ramp, all we hear is Mary, Mary, why you
Oh,
walking? A beach on me, a beach on me, beach on me. Like on the side of the buses, we beating boom, 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 boom. And she was like, stop the bus, and it was like, oh. Y'all might have beat me back to Dilla High. We was like, wait, she's there. We had to get our ass off the bus. Book bags. No, we had bags. We had duffel bags. Duffel
Mhm.
bags and all. Off the bus. And had to run to Dilla High School. That's just one memory. That's just one.
Okay. So one of my favorite memories of your cheer era, quarter,
Oh, shoot.
was the Ely incident.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Listen here.
But
When
why
I
you
tell
peeking?
you, so listen. So when I as Q and I became close and I started to intertwine and hang out with the girls from the 90s. And this was back when the Alumni Association was started. So they used to tell stories all the time before the meeting started. So clear as day, I was like, from the 2000s, we have none of these types of stories. They was like, lit. We ain't got none of
Basically,
it. Like, none
Secretary
of
had
our stories.
already experienced it and was not experiencing it again.
Hello. Because, boy, she put her foot on our necks when it came to
What was
stuff
that?
like this.
And it was that 96, 97 crew. So from our JV year, and then when we made it to varsity, it was that same crew.
So the story
She
that I
kept
used
putting
to,
y'all on the team. I would have every time I would have had tryouts, I wouldn't have picked nail one of
But
y'all.
listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this real quick
but
before
they were like the best of the worst. They were
the
the best as cheerleaders, but they was the worst as behavior, like literally. But
yeah.
that Ely situation, baby, that has been my favorite story of all
Oh
times.
man.
I can't let go of that story. I just couldn't believe it. Quarter.
Okay. So this was actually a playoff game. Um Dillard and Ely was playing at Ely, and Dillard. This was the boys' game. So how they did it was the boys played first, and then the girls played after that for this playoff game. So this was a win or go home. So the game was intense. It was a very intense game. So of course emotions are through the roof already, and we're playing who Ely, our dang going arch nemesis. We're
Yes.
playing Ely. So, of course, we sell a night, talking mad trash, and we lose. So when the buzzer goes off, the entire basketball team and cheerleaders run on the floor, and they run directly beeline to us. So at the end of the day, all y'all gonna get this smoke. It's about 25 of us. It's whatever. So we jump up and we like, what's up? Of course, think to her like, get them down, sit them, come down. So they had to clear the entire gym out. At this point, it's just Dillard cheerleaders, Ely cheerleaders, and Dillard girls basketball team is in the tunnel getting ready to run out. And I forgot who they were playing because it definitely wasn't Ely girls. No shade. So we're standing in the line for our girls to run through us. Y'all know the tunnel. So we're standing in the two lines for the girls to run through. One of the Ely cheerleaders decided that she wanted to walk through our lines to go get water. So, of course, why would you do that? So she walks through the line, goes to the water fountain. My ass, there's a water fountain on the side that they're in, but whatever. She comes back through the line and she kind of like bumps or kind of like brushes up against another one of the cheerleaders. One of our cheerleaders. And I'm not gonna drop no names because at this point in our adult life, we're actually cool now. So
That doesn't sound reassuring, but continue.
but there's a twist to that story that I will add on to it. I don't know if I told y'all that twist.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
so the girl comes up, she bumps into one of my teammates, and her and my teammates kind of go back and forth. I literally I was an innocent bystander who was a bit close, and I got tagged. real hard. Block. All I know is
Oh,
I,
you know.
I blacked out because if y'all would have felt that, it was hard. Like it was like, especially when you ever got hit when you like not paying attention, and it's like,
Yeah.
what the that's what it was like. Wait a minute. Okay, so what happened was me and this young lady we got into the fight. Well, it really wasn't no fight, but we got into it. Police came, all that good old stuff or whatever. So yeah, separated us. I ended up having to sit out the game. I had to sit next to Miss Singletary the entire game because Miss Singletary, they was trying to put them handcuffs on your girl. Singletary was like, she gonna sit right here next to me. And because they come, and my mama was actually getting her hair done, so they couldn't get in contact. Because we didn't have cell phones back in those days. So I just want to let y'all know, I was born and was raised and grew up in the 1900s. We didn't have cell phones.
Oh, it's about the 1900s.
So I'm calling, we calling Big May, and Big May ain't answering the house phone because she getting her hair done. So when my mama came to Dilla High School to pick me up, she had her rollers in her head. And the only reason why, because my aunt had to drive down to the salon and say, hey, Carter got into a fight. You need to go to Dilla to go get her. So my mama pulls up with the cape still on and her hair rollers in her head. And she like, what's going on? Miss Tigger tell my mama was really sure everything will be fine. Don't worry about it. Blah, blah, blah. So here's the twist. Here's the plot twist. My mom goes to work on that Monday. And she overhears her coworker talking about these ghetto cheerleaders at Dilla High School. They jumped her baby, and she pressing charges, and she doing this, and she doing all this other stuff, whatever. So of course, my mama was like, "What's the coincidence?"
Ghetto. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So my mom was like, she pulled her to the side and was like, "Hey, what happened?" And she was like, "Yeah, those girls at Dilla High School, they jumped my baby, and whatever, and I'm gonna press charges or whatever." She did get a little injured, whatever. So my mama was like, she thinking, okay, you know what? Let's have a conversation. We're two adults. We have a rapport with each other. We work together. Yeah, that didn't work out well.
And now with Big May.
No, ma'am.
Big May was for the shut Sears down. She was gonna shut it down. Yeah, the lady was talking about that. So the other plot twist was the young lady's mother worked with my mom, and her dad was my AP. So I get to school Monday, and AP called me out of class. It was like, what happened? And I'm telling him because I'm not a problem student. I was never a problem student. I just want to let you all know that right now. I was a model student, honor roll student, behavior problems. No, you didn't get no phone calls home about my behavior or my attitude. I was a pretty good student. But yeah, that was look for your girl. Yeah. So I those charges were not pressed, but your girl did have to do
put air quotes.
my records is clean, and I'm gonna stand on that.
Stand on business.
I'm standing on business on that one. But yeah, so I did have to do a little anger management class, and I did have to do some community service. Yeah, that's it. Well, we're good now.
I would hope so.
Yeah. So the moral of that story is it's two morals. One is to when someone else is getting into a fight, you back away, all the way away, so you don't get involved. And then two, don't walk through the cheerleaders line. Don't do that. That's not
Don't walk through nobody's line.
Don't walk through nobody's line. That's sororities, fraternities, band, cheerleaders. Don't walk through nobody's line. Just either walk around or just wait till they finish. That's the other moral of the story. Just don't. But yeah, that 96, 97. Y'all know about the plantation one, right?
Yeah. That happened on the football field.
Pause.
And squirted water.
Yes,
you did. Where the girl squirted the water?
No.
I heard that story and you didn't.
Never heard the plantation story.
Sister, what that's up good? That water, with that water bottle.
One of the water girls.
Nope, not doing it. Nope, not doing it today, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, not doing it. I think Singletary was like built
She
for
had,
it till by the time we came around, because baby, none of that was tolerated, thought about, suggested, or even went there.
yeah, my senior year was quiet. My senior year was definitely quiet. It was my junior year that
It
was
was
like,
like y'all prepare her to be prepared for any situation that came partially, impartially, or whatever. Because
well, we still quiet. All of us are pretty
single
still.
Mary was not having it, honey.
Yeah, we still pretty tight. I'll say that. Yeah, all of us are pretty cool. Just enough about me. I see what y'all doing here.
What are you talking about? I have no
Come
clue.
on, give me some of those memories. Give me some of those cheeries. Come on, let's go.
Okay, it's your turn.
You should have went last because yours are definitely
More
more
memorable.
entertaining.
I got
Your cheer memories are kind of some of our favorite cheer memories.
That part.
I got two more. One from
I'm
Jackson
like,
year. This is my sophomore year.
mm.
And I'm gonna give her a shout out because I still love her to death. Tiffany Davis. If you're watching, this is for you, babes. So we all have a teammate that is a little it's that you kind of like you just know. You already know. So it's kind of like, when it's time to give instructions, you pull that one to the side and you say, "Hey, we're going
I
to the
think we
right.
ever.
We're going to the right. Don't go left, go right." So we all have that one teammate. We just have to kind of, take in a little bit.
Gotta put an
Tiffany,
extra little love.
extra love. Yeah.
That's what we called it.
Tiffany was that one. And when I say, and she's such, I mean, still is a sweetheart. She's such a sweetheart.
Yes.
Love her.
Will give the shirt off her back and everything. But baby, that whole year, Tiffany gave us 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we coming off the bus. It was raining. So it's we're at Hollandale. And only thing I can definitely remember is Khalil was laughing so hard. Shout out to my best friend. She was laughing so hard, like her nose started bleeding.
Oh my God. I've never heard that before. But go ahead.
Her nose bleed. I think her nose did bleed. I can't remember, but she was laughing so hard. So we was coming off the bus, and before we
Khalil
come off,
laughs anyway. Let's make that clear.
my best friend laughs about everything. It could be
Everything.
a dust on the TV, and she will find something comedic about it. That's just her. I love her. That's my best friend. But so when you got off the bus, there was like a little puddle because it had just finished raining. So all you had to do was take a little step. It was simple, just off the bus, right? That's it. So, because everywhere else that we were the bus driver was trying to pull up, it was big old puddles of mud, so you couldn't really get off the bus. So this was that one spot. So, Jackson said, "Hey, there's a small puddle when you get off the bus. When you get to the last step, just kind of do like a little jump off, and it's not much, just a little jump off." So before she got off the bus, I heard her say, "Somebody tell Tiffany." So Tiffany, there's a small puddle on the last. So when you get off the bus, why we get off the bus and we all turn around, Tiffany is in the puddle, fully submerged, mud, water, everything, socks completely brown, shoes dirty, uniform. And Jackson made her ass cheer the game in them dirty ass socks and uniform. And she told,
Oh my God. That is horrible.
so the other story was, I ain't gonna say her name. No, we're gonna say because she laughed about it now. Kwanda. Q. Shout out to Q.
Oh, okay, okay.
So Q was we was at cheer camp, and so Miss Jackson, this was Q's freshman and my sophomore year. So Miss Jackson was like, she was over it because my stunt group could not get this stunt. And she was like, she literally quit on us. She was done. So Secretary, come on. She gathering us around because we crying, we frustrated. Y'all got this, you know. Come on, y'all. Because Secretary was nice to JV. She ain't like varsity. She was really nice to JV every year. I've never, and I don't know how it was with y'all, but when she got to JV, she was very loving and she give hugs. And hey, but when we got on varsity, we ain't see none of that. Secretary, let's talk about that. Why you wasn't like that with varsity?
Listen,
Girl,
when you got on
please.
varsity, you was all hoes and tramps.
Hello.
So she was like, so we doing the thing or whatever. So Q back there looking crazy. She ain't doing it or whatever. She ain't saying nothing. So Singletary was like, because we ain't never seen her do nothing like this. Singletary was like, what's wrong with you? Why you back there just standing there? And she was like looking around
I
like,
could hear you saying that in Singletary voice right now as we speak.
yeah. And so then she was like, do you know the chill? Do you know the chill? Shut the we are the best. Do you know the chill? Baby, when I say all of us is flat out on the grass, we are in tears and shambles because Singletary was pissed and she was doing the movements. She was, they were all wrong, might I add. They were completely wrong. It did not match the cheer at all. She was just doing something. You do this and you do this and you gotta bring your arm. What do you know anything? What? Is this lady doing? It was like, talking about, you know what? You know I want to push you at? Come on. Get in your line, get in your formation. And she put Kawanda all the way in the back behind the back spotter. Told her, don't do nothing. Just stand like this there. Don't move. Just stand here. When everybody moves, you don't move. You stand right there.
Poor baby. Poor baby.
Let us pray.
It was, yeah, them years was wild, man. Cheering the 1900s with Jackson and Singletary.
Listen.
If you say these 1900s one more time.
Oh, Ish. So she said that when we were at BCAA Media Day. She goes, I cheered at during the 1900s. And the girls are looking like, what? What is the 1900s? So me and Sade was like, oh my gosh, she cheered in 1998. 90, she cheered. They were like, the 1900s. Oh my God, that was so long ago.
Girl, shut up. Girl, shut up.
I looked at her. I said she graduated in 98, you guys. Please do not think it's that far. They were literally thinking.
It's 25 years.
1900s.
It's 25 years. It's been 25 years.
The kids wasn't thinking about that. The kids, when they hear 1900s, they are thinking about what they read in their history book.
Is that the 1900s? I started high school in 1994. 1994. How old were you in 1994, Ish?
10.
I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
I was 9.
Well, I were in elementary school. When I started my freshman year in high school.
I was literally in the 2nd grade.
Is that not the 1900s?
But them kids don't know that.
I mean, it's what it is. I ain't want to tell my age. Shoot. I mean, now y'all know.
Oh, they thought you looked good and old as hell.
They was like, this lady 89 years old.
Your
when
mama.
you ask kids, how old do I look?
When you say 1900s, you thinking like it's so long ago, but in all honesty, it wasn't that long ago.
It's not. But to these kids, that was so long ago.
Yeah, literally. I love it.
These kids, when you ask them today how old I look, please don't ever ask that question.
Oh, I'm not telling you. I don't ask them questions. Then they be like, Miss Kelly, how old you turning for your birthday? You minding your own business.
One kid said I was I can't remember what age they said. I said my mama in her 50s. What in the hell? Just stop talking.
I don't do age. So one of
All
my
right.
cheer memories, it has nothing to do with violence.
Wow. Wow.
um
Wow.
Oh my
no,
god.
but I do have one that possibly could have went there. However, it didn't because Jackson and Singletary were well groomed
And
in
prepared.
in the stop the violence early category. Um, I can't remember what year
Wow.
this was because I might have been with Williams, but I want to say I was with Singletary. So if I was with Singletary, it would have been my senior year. Either way, we were at Miramar. Do you remember this, Kamisha? Because if you
I
remember
got to
it,
hear it. I
okay,
got to
so
hear
we
it.
were at Miramar, and obviously, JV plays first, varsity plays second. So JV is playing. They when we get there, they're cheering, and they having this whole cheer battle with Miramar's varsity cheerleaders, and we're like, okay, all right, we come in, we put our bags down, and y'all already know how I am.
Yes.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the chill battle. Okay. So we put our bags down. We always would go out, quarter change or whatever. So whatever we didn't finish at the school, we would continue to practice it at the game. However, this particular time, we pretty much had everything together.
Mhm.
So we didn't have to go back out of nothing. We literally was just coming in to sit down and wait to cheer. So we came in, we put our bags down, and we noticed the cheer battle when we walked in. So we're like, oh, okay, we're running up they got little bleachers. They ain't got, stadium seating like we do. They got bleachers. So we running up the bleachers, ready to put our stuff down because we ready to chill. Because what y'all not finna do, y'all not finna come for our JV. We
That's
not
right.
doing it. We
Mm-mm.
start cheering
Especially
with
not
them.
varsity. Stick with what you know. Don't come for
Right.
JV if you varsity. Don't even do it.
So we come in there and we start rocking the gym. Woo, woo, woo. Like, I don't remember what cheers we was doing, but that thing was rocking. So now me and my cheerleaders, they mad. But y'all, I don't know who started it. I don't care who started it, but y'all was varsity. Y'all should have left our JV alone.
That
Mhm.
part.
So we get outside, they talking a little jump, but they ain't really talking like they want to do nothing because they already know that when we go back in the gym, what it's on. So then game switch. Now it's varsity's turn to cheer, but they're still cheering because I don't think that they had a JV and varsity. I think they only had one team. So they're cheering the entire time.
Mhm.
JV, they tired, so they go and get their little snacks, and we there by ourselves. But we still rocking it. Girl, when I say it's because we used to play teams twice. It seemed like for the rest of the year, Miramar cheerleaders hated us, hated us. But y'all was probably JV cheerleaders. What we were supposed to do
Hmm.
is see if they can let y'all keep bully our JV cheerleaders? No,
We were. That's what they expected.
no. So that was fun though. That was really fun.
Good clean battle. I like that.
I,
Good clean battles.
huh?
Good clean battle.
Yeah.
We had plenty
And
of
then
those.
even with Ely, like I had cheerleaders.
Hmm.
You always have that one person on another team that you like enemies with. Y'all really ain't never had no,
Enemies.
but the fact that y'all
Yeah.
cheer on the opposing team.
Opposing.
Yeah, I had cheerleaders at Ely.
There's another word.
But one thing I do remember, and I don't know how many other teams still partake in this, but I miss the Christmas parties that Jackson and Singletary used to do.
And we
Yeah.
always used to
And
get a
our
present.
gifts.
Mhm.
Yes. We
We
always
always
got a
got
gift.
new paraphernalia for
Yeah.
Christmas. We either got a
I wish I
jacket
still had
or
my zip up sweater.
sweatsuit
I
or
miss my zip up.
Words. It was something.
something. We
We used to
always
put
got
our
something
gray
cute.
sweats under our skirts. and
Mm-hmm.
walk around like that during basketball season right before our game started.
I used to love when you made varsity, when you walk in the middle of the JV boys game and
What?
you walking behind the varsity boys and the varsity girls, and you kind of like, it's this, like, it was packed. So it kind of, everybody had that cheer jacket on. You had the
Yep,
double
and they let them in.
anthem, and it was like when you walk in the gym and you, like, you find your little section, and everybody kind of like just walk up on the gym, the bleachers, to sit down,
Everybody.
and it's like everybody kind of like, they here, they here, they here, they coming, they go. Like, it
Hmm.
made you feel like, I
That
know
was
what
like
what's coming to
when
That's
you
do.
why I tell
had
people, like, in my adult life, I had somebody I had to laugh about it, but I was like, bitch, you don't even know me. But I had somebody tell me that I'm only relevant because of my son. And I was like, do you know
Ooh,
who
that
I am? Do you know what I was? Do you know?
stupid.
Listen,
oh
at, at,
wow.
at the end of the day, I am glad that I really am not, well, I am now, but I enjoyed college because I flew under the radar, because being a Dillard cheerleader and everybody knowing who you are and people know your name that you don't even know, and then, not to mention my family, being a
Mhm.
Kelly, um there was a lot of attention brought my way. I enjoyed not being popular for, a very
So,
time in my life.
very
um,
brief.
but just the fact that you were a Dillard cheerleader,
Hmm.
you're very popular, not
Hmm.
just at Dillard, but
Yes.
in the entire county. And depending on how many Miami teams you played in the whole South Florida, like, people knew who you were. They may not have known your name, but they definitely knew who you were if you were
They
a Dillard
remember
cheerleader.
faces, not names, on the
Yeah,
Yeah.
sidelines.
yeah.
Definitely.
Even I get
Um,
that. I still get that to this day.
I
Like
used to
people,
love the feeling of.
Mhm. People come up to you, you look familiar, and then they
mm,
start thinking, "You cheered for Dilla." Like, that's
Mhm.
why you remember me? Like, I was only on the sideline. Like, why do you remember me from
well,
that?
I stood out because I was the tallest one, so I
Oh, I,
definitely stood out.
And I'm
So
sure I stood out because I was a goofball. Like, I was always starting the controversial chants. I was always playing on the sideline. I
or
cheered very
petty
well, and
teachers.
I, was very loud, and I was a great cheerleader, but I was also extremely goofy. So maybe,
Amongst other things.
yeah, uh,
Always being petty with the cheers.
that too. Oh, and I'm sure we were the reason why the refs started calling texts on the cheerleaders. I'm more than positive. Because we always needed a rope and a tree to
I'm
hang the
not taking
referee.
ownership for that.
I
Even
listen,
though
in
we
my
made,
adult life, I have to, be accountable for my actions.
even though we
I'm
may be
sure
the reason
all of the ropes and trees that we needed is the
to
reason
hang
why.
referees,
I'm
'cause
sure all of the bomb, 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 where the ref, boom, boom, yeah.
her, you,
I'm,
her,
we needed more
point at her,
security. We needed
her right
security.
there.
We
I,
definitely needed
I'm
security.
sure
Um,
that's why, the cheerleaders get the team's takes now. Because I was a cheerleader that watched the game.
Yeah.
I literally would watch every part
we
of the
used to.
game.
I can't
So when
even
it was a
lie.
bad call, ref, bad call. Listen, um, and I'm front row. So
We
if
used to rock the
the
house.
ball went out
Dillon
right there
Cheerleaders
on the half
basketball
court,
season
because I was in
used
the
to rock
middle,
the
I was
house.
in the front in the middle. I'm all in the ref here. Bad call, ref. Like,
Do y'all remember how, let's go, set it up? You used to rock the gym?
Yes,
yes, the
Do y'all,
fans would do
the
it. The
fans were saying
basketball
it and
team would
all.
be doing it.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
one of
Yes.
my, I remember I was in the seventh grade and my cousin played for Dillard that year. He was a senior. And I just remember going into the gym, and when I say, whenever they did that chant, oh my God. When I say, and this was back in those days where Dillard was good, bad, or whatever, the gym used to be
To
sold
the
out
rooftop.
to the rooftop. Like there were no seats. So if you didn't get there by the JV boys game, you was not going to be in the stadium. Excuse me, in the gym. You wasn't going to make it. And when I tell you I used to go on them games, and I think they were playing BA, and when I tell you in the varsity games, the varsity girls game, we didn't even get to the boys. The varsity girls games used to be, when I say used to be real deal, like you would actually be more into the girls games than the boys game at one point. But
Mhm.
just walking in the gym and you hear them and hear the varsity girls, let's go, set it up.
Mhm.
And the whole crowd repeating
Set
it.
it up, set it up. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh my God. That is when I knew I was going to be a village cheerleader. That's when I knew I had to be in the building. I had to be one. Just seeing that and just having that Chinergy was in the building. They was like, remember we talked about we was going to bring up uniformity, but uniformity, they had the shoes, they had those slouch socks, turtleneck,
You would double that. You would double the slouch socks, so your slouch socks a little bigger.
and there was a trick to it. You had to cut the foot part of doing the slouch socks off to make that thickness.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you can make it, because it make your calf look bigger. Ha ha, and no skirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, turtlenecks. So this is what it was cheering in the 1900s. We didn't have crop
Oh
tops. We had
God.
turtlenecks
Right. And it
that
did
you
not
got
match your
from there
uniform. It was a plain white old turtleneck. It
or we
might be a
got it
little
from Kmart.
baggy.
You got it from Kmart. That's where you got your turtleneck from. Kmart. Yep. And the trick to that was to get it a size smaller, so that way it kind of.
It wouldn't be baggy.
Yeah, but if you had long arms, you had to get your regular size, because ain't nothing cute about having the turtleneck that end right here.
All the people who used to have the yellow turtleneck. Shout out to y'all.
Oh,
And a dirty necks, because you don't wash it in between games.
oh,
Yeah, cause your mama
Ring
say we
around,
not going back to the wash house.
then ring around the neck.
oh my God.
Yes.
Terrible.
Oh man. When I tell you, I enjoyed my 4 years cheering for Dilla High School, JV and varsity. We had some good, when I say we had some good from the shout out to my teammates from 94 to 1998. Shout out to y'all. When I tell y'all, we a real sisterhood around here. For real. A real sisterhood.
Before we forget to go into our next topic, we gotta let Misha give her cheermories. Cause you listen, you could do a whole show about yours by yourself.
Who, me or her?
You.
You.
Oh.
We still see you.
That part.
All right. Come on, Ish. Mish. I'm sorry, Ish. Mish.
All right.
Misha, Misha.
So
Isha Mish.
my favorite cheer memory comes from my junior year of cheerleading. Okay. So that year was an interesting year because we transitioned from about 25 to 12 cheerleaders in one particular year. Okay. This is Isha's senior year.
That's my senior year.
So we went to state. And when I tell you 12 cheerleaders made it feel like 25 for Singletary, it was interesting. There was nothing we did not do. I'm about to admit something, and it's probably going to horrify this person, but we was playing a lot of tricks on people during those time frames. And so our rooms were adjacent to each other, so we can open the door and see another set of cheerleaders. So this particular night, we were bored, couldn't fall asleep, but one particular cheerleader decided to fall asleep before everybody else. And so while she was sleeping, somebody, that shall remain nameless, decided to throw water on this particular cheerleader's bed. And so she woke up with thinking that she had wet herself on the bed.
Oh, that's horrible.
And so we were all dying laughing because she was really puzzled as to what transpired. And we were giggling for a whole day because she could not figure it out. So that next morning, when she woke up talking about it, East tried to run out the room, but her book bag got caught on the her book bag got caught on the door, and it yanked her ass right there.
I've been having bloopers all my life, and I'm okay with that.
Listen, when I tell you, East tried to run out the door so fast to not give herself away, bruh, that door yanked Isha back so fast.
That's that instant karma.
Oh, listen, me and Sade were on the floor. When I tell you, me and Sade could not get through that entire day. Secretary was like, "What do y'all got going on?" Boy, I tell you, that joke was so funny.
But the crazy part is, I wasn't even supposed to be sleeping with them.
You wouldn't even supposed to be in the room, huh?
Mm-mm.
Listen,
I had Cheermories on my own team.
Oh Lord.
so it was hilarious. We was all playing tricks on each other. But when I tell you, Isha was trying to run out that room and that book bag got caught on that door.
You know how the door had a little handle,
The
you
little
had a
it's the little
pull.
hook handle.
Yeah. And you
That
know how
damn
that book bag got in that little. And,
she had on that drawstring book bag, and baby, that drawstring got caught on that door. And the way she got yanked back so quick, I swear. That trip was everything to me. Literally, I had so much fun that field trip between hanging out with the basketball team at the mall, them talking about they had to eat Barnhill and Golden Corral all weekend, and we was up there eating Bennigan's and Red Lobster and everything else. They was
But
big.
one thing about Secretary, she gonna feed you and she gonna feed
I
you good.
know. When we pulled
because she
up,
got to
we
feed
went straight to
herself
Bennigan's.
good.
When we
Listen,
pulled
I'll
when
be
we
to switch
pulled
gears,
up,
but I always remember this about the basketball team. So my junior year, yes, it was definitely my junior year. We got put in a weird situation because the first hotel they put us in was bad. It was terrible. I think they just blindly booked it, and it was real bad. So the next night we had to go to a different hotel because we used to stay for multiple days because they would play semifinals, and then if
hmm
we won,
so
they
we
would
left
play
on a
finals, but
Wednesday.
it wouldn't be the next day. It would be like 2 days later.
Mm-hmm.
So they allowed us to stay the whole time. So we ended up switching hotels. However, they did not want us to be in the same hotel as the team, which we totally got. We understood. It was cool. Man, we started talking to the basketball players after that trip, and they told us that they was going to Red Lobster. Sit down, because like they didn't do us how they did them. Like they would give them their money to go eat, and they just went. They went to Red Lobster, act like they was finna order, got water, and waited for the biscuits to come out. They told the people biscuits up and left.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Listen, I really there are things that I would take away from my memories because we've all talked about very funny and joking and memories that we can laugh about now. However, there are things that I didn't like about high school, but if I could just go back to high school, I promise you I would rather do it than adulting.
You
Who you telling? Cause oh, I'm
well,
trying to
you
tell you.
right, Ish.
Let me tell you something. I be trying to tell my kids on a regular. Let me enlighten you on something. I don't know who told you adulting was fun, but they lied.
It's
Because,
ghetto.
baby, you seem to think that it's okay because adults tell you I'm an adult. I can do whatever it is I want to do. They lied to you. We don't get to do everything we want to do. Okay.
Sure don't.
All
Sure.
right, y'all. Now let's, because we could sit here and talk forever.
Because I
I
have a
have
ammo.
so many more memories. Because I remember at a pep rally my junior year, we got called super bodies.
I remember that. Oh, damn.
They was in it super bodies.
It was
Wow.
loud. And, like, the administration could not get everybody to
It
be
was nothing
quiet.
nobody could do about it.
Nothing. They had to literally wait it out before they
And
played.
it wasn't the juniors and seniors, it was the freshmen and sophomores.
Not the Jets
And
talking.
it, like, they started it and it just transferred over.
They wouldn't have dared did it. No. When we went to state my senior year, we went with the girls and the boys. But this one particularly is a shout out to, well, I wouldn't say shout out, but rest in peace, Coach Marcia Pender, um, GOAT of girls basketball, Gillette High
Hello.
School, all the way.
One of the
She
best to
used to
ever do.
she never let varsity go with her when we was in high school. She
Oh,
used to
no. She
beg for
only let
JV
JV go with her.
No,
because
we
that's who used to cheer for her,
Correct.
all through
The
the season.
JV
So she
girls
was
would
like, "No,
travel
we
with
don't
the
want varsity. We want
varsity would stay
JV."
with the boys.
yeah,
But
no,
luckily, they didn't make it. Well, I ain't gonna say luckily, but my varsity years, they didn't make it to the Final Four.
They
so we've
made
been
it to the Final Four my senior year.
well, they made it to the Final Four my senior year. And we go up there. We're in the same hotel. Not a good idea because the varsity girls, the varsity team and the varsity girls at that year, we were super close. Like you would think that all of us were either playing basketball, we all cheered. And either way, we all was like mad cool. So I don't know what possessed us to decide that we want to go ahead and do a little herbal and enlightening the night before the game. So we go ahead and we get fired
Excuse me.
up. We put a fired up in the hotel room too.
Excuse moi.
Y'all was bad.
As hell.
So we
They
in there,
wouldn't take care of be had us in chokes and chains and every damn thing else because y'all were
and
horrible.
I think we had to be about 15 deep in that room. 12 to 15 deep in that room. We was D'd up in that room. And we had them in the bath. We was in the bathroom. We wilding. And you see a small figure walk by the window because you can see the shadow coming by the window, although the curtains were closed. You can still see the shadow. So we see, and those who know Miss Pender, Coach Pender, she is a small little thing that
Mm-hmm.
Looked like she was still in elementary school.
but pack a mighty punch,
All
period.
day.
And Panda come knock on the door, boom, boom, boom. So at this point, it's about 3 of them in rotation right now.
Y'all
And
horrible.
we trying to spray and stuff, kill the smell, whatever. Somebody opened the door and cracked it a little bit. And she's like, what y'all out here doing? Open this door. And we was like,
Who decides to crack open the door? You supposed to run the shower first.
because Miss Pender was beating the door down like she was the Raiders. Like she was the po-po's baby. And the way she was beating the door, it seemed like it was about 20 people beating on the door, beating on the window. Open the door, open the door. So we opened the door. She was like, what y'all out here doing? We was like, nothing. And she was like, it smelled weird to him. We was like, oh, this the smell it was when we first came in here. She was like, just go back to your room. It was like, all right.
Then y'all sat there and told that lie.
Yeah. So
That was not
Thinking on the fly. You can't fault them for that. They was thinking on the fly.
On the fly, real.
That's on the fly, all right. Stupid
but
fly.
What messed us up was that all that burning equaled what?
The munchies.
Y'all was eating every damn
Y'all
thing.
was high as fuck. Everybody eyes was low. They was red.
They eating everything in sight.
Breaking curfew, trying to go to the corner store, the nearest corner store. It was bad.
Terrible. I'm
That's
so ashamed.
well, it build character. It builds character.
And listen, we we stood two, we stood 10 toes down with each other. Like at the end of the day, baby, none of us
I
going down. Ain't nobody snitching. If we all gonna get suspended, we all gonna be suspended. But nobody gonna break character.
but
Nobody.
nowadays you only miss 5 games and keep going.
No, we wouldn't nothing. Like she could have said, "Oh no, they was in there." No, that's not what we was doing. Well, I'm gonna suspend you because you ain't said no problem. We gonna take it. We was together. We was one. We was collectively in it
We
together.
are one. Wasn't that our theme from Homecoming?
Yeah, that was a hard.
We
That was
are one.
yeah. And I remember on the bus, going to the game, and it was like, I know what y'all was in there doing, but ain't nobody gonna say nothing. And we looking at her like, and stop talking about it because I don't, like we was looking at her like, well, we don't know what are you with that you want us to say? If you want us to like, yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, we not gonna do that. Yeah, see, Terry, get your girls, and I don't want them in my girl. I don't want them in my players' room. Y'all gonna go to sleep before we go to bed.
Oh, y'all, I just looked at the calendar. We are 30 days away from BCAA championship.
Yeah, with that
Countdown. We gotta do
being said,
a countdown.
Really
I was just gonna
do.
say we
But
need
my
to do
question
a
is, all
countdown.
right, so being that we just talked about our cheer memories, we can kind of go back to uniformity. So I will say this. It's a competition this coming Tuesday that Q and I plan to attend. Each year will be there via virtual. But what do you think we are going to see at BCAA? Because that's when all the Broward County teams that's going to come. Is there a category difference? I was trying to figure that part out because I
What
don't
you
know.
mean?
They have small, medium, and large.
They have small, medium, large, and extra large.
Do they
But
separate
it's
large?
no, but it's no
They don't
class
do tumbling.
separation.
No,
No.
there's no class
Okay.
separation. It's all one.
I think that's stupid, but I digress.
Well, think about it. It's not that many 1As in the county.
No, no,
It's
no.
not.
I didn't mean that part. I
Oh,
mean, I meant tumbling and non-tumbling. Do they have that separation? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
they separate that.
Oh,
Separate
okay.
those.
Wow,
All right. So,
Lord.
what do you think you're going to see? Because I'm kind of wondering if routines will change, being that they've been doing these little small head-to-heads. They've been getting feedback on what to keep, what to change, and things of that sort. Stunts may be a little bit more difficult, being that some people have saw what other people are offering, because don't pretty soon they have to choose, and I think it's coming up
That was
very
last
soon,
week.
where they choose what
Last week.
category they'll be in for regionals and moving
That was
forward.
last. That was
That was
last week.
last
But
week.
it doesn't. But BCA is totally different. So they
No,
can
no, no.
actually.
I'm asking
Yeah,
because
that's
now
what.
Yeah,
we're
she's talking about did they have to choose what they're doing for state?
Yeah, last week.
okay.
Okay.
So, do you think now will be the time where we start seeing state routines to see what they pan out to be?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, damn.
I won't see that part of the regionals
Yeah.
because think about
So
it. You just need
what we're gonna see,
a category.
we've seen like for the most part, we've seen the majority of the routines as far well, not we, y'all. What you've seen is probably the foundation of the routine.
Mm-hmm.
You see stunts that they are trying to do. You see stunts that they're working towards. You see stunts that they're toying around with, but they wore that shit down for BCAA and then try to come out with a banger for regional and kind of carry that out. Um
Because BCAA and regionals are definitely only a week apart this year.
Still, They're gonna do just enough to get through BCAA. Some teams don't even care about BCAA, to be honest. They go compete at it, they do what they can at it, and they go on about their business. Um,
Which I think, I mean, this is for bragging rights for your county. So it should be on that scale. I'm just going off of just period. It should be on the scale of the regionals in the state because it's like a precursor to what regionals gonna look like as well as state. And this is for
Correct.
bragging rights. So you're actually gonna be competing against teams who you probably would not be competing when you get to state because you that's when they do the divisions. And remember,
mm,
we did have an episode we talked about that maybe regionals need to be divided into 1A and 2A as well.
Correct.
I do agree with that. That way you can lessen the amount of people that's going to state, but we've already talked about that, and I don't want to go into it again.
Do you think that that is the major issue because they don't separate it? That's why so many teams end up going to state because they don't differentiate the two.
I
I
think
think
that's part of it.
they need to up the points. The minimum points to make it to say the 60. They need
But
to
I
70.
got that part. But last year, what I noticed was a lot of the teams that met that point requirement, it was no determination as to how many went for 1A and how many went for 2A. It was just more so whoever had those particular points
Mhm.
went. And
And
then
that's
it
how they
fell
do it.
to that category.
And that's how they schedule out the semis and the finals based off of how many made it. That's why we were in part of that episode we talked about they need to increase the points because if you're actually going to be competing to make it to the final and make it, in placement, those teams are scoring in the mid to high 70s, 80s. You need to
Because a
increase.
lot of it was a lot of teams that as the categories gotten bigger, I realized that the number of people that they took was smaller. But for like small varsity, 1A had more in the semifinals, and then in 2A, it was small non tumbling that had more in the semifinals round. And I was trying to figure out how was that determined because it was like 16 teams in both categories on each day competing for like what 4 or 5 slots to move on to
No, it was
finals.
more slots. Especially for the 2A small tumbling. It had remember I think the finals had to be about 14, 15 teams. It was a lot of teams in the finals because
I
it was
think it
over
was
20
eight. I don't
something.
remember it. I know it had that many for semifinals, but I don't think that many teams moved because they had already had like 6 teams already in the finals. I
Yeah, but
think
it
only
was
four or
it was
five
like
moved up.
but it was more. It was more teams that oh my god, my knee. It was more teams that once they moved over to finals, I think it was like how many teams they took, maybe like 10 teams or something like that. Because it was how many, it was a lot of teams in the finals that was competing for the
Mhm.
2A. Not for the 2A small on tumbling.
Yes, and so was the same for 1A small varsity, in which the gap in scores were very, very interesting. Um, but
Y'all, I got a comedy break. So I'm sitting here looking at myself on video, and I'm like, I look like the Fat Albert character.
Mushmouth,
No, dumb Donald.
I'm
Cause my hair sticking out on the side, so it looks like.
not doing it. No, I'm not doing it with you today. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I'm like, what?
No,
You see
ma'am.
what
I'm
you see
sorry.
what I'm doing, Misha. I mean Misha.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, no, no,
Not
no,
today or tomorrow. I will
no,
not.
not doing
Y'all,
it.
if y'all wondering why I'm sitting in the bed with a hoodie, a scully on my head, a beanie, whatever you want to call it, it's because it's cold here. It's cold. It's real cold. My toes cold. I wasn't going in the kitchen today. Nope. And I got a ceiling fan in the kitchen when you turn on the lights. Y'all wasn't finna have me an icicle on these people podcasts.
So it was 19 teams for the large, I mean, for the small 2A semifinals. small non-tumbling. It was 19 teams that competed, and in the finals, it was it was 9.
That's what I thought. Because I remember them having majority of those slots were already filled for the finals, which I did not understand why they needed 4 or 5 more teams to add to it. That part didn't make sense to me.
They just need to increase the points. Once they increase the points, that will eliminate a whole lot of teams.
Terrible.
Because think about it. Remember all those teams that made it, especially that went to semifinals, they didn't even make 60. They didn't even make 50.
I was just gonna say it was some teams that we saw that was like 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
Either way, we ain't gonna see the same routine.
No, I don't think so. And I think BCAA is going to be like that run through for them for regionals. That will let them know, hey, we're going to take this out, we're going to remove. So I think that's what it's going to be. And I think for me personally, I think BCAA should be ran like how regionals ran. Whatever you declared is what you need to compete in. So if your team is extra large the entire season, and then for BCAA, you want to figure out if you can be medium or large, and then when come back for regionals, you decide you're going to do small non-tumbling or whatever. No, you need to stick with it.
And I think that it should be a qualification, like how you have to qualify to go to state. You need to qualify to go to regionals.
Now, how would you determine that happens? What
score?
But what do you think the qualification should be to make it to regional? Because I remember at one point in time when we had a conversation with the athletic director of Broward County in general with the mini comps, where we were trying to figure out what's the point of the mini comps when teams were not showing their routines to begin with. They were coming, got the score, or would never show up. But being that you said they should meet a qualification to go to regionals, what do you think those qualification standards should be?
A 60. Okay, you can make it to regionals with a 60, but you don't need to
So where would they get
have a 60 to go to state?
Would they get those
60? BCAA.
Okay. I get
so each county will have a district championship. And
kind of like football.
That's how to do football and basketball. Whoever make it out
district championship to qualify to go to regionals, and then you qualify to go to state.
That's not a bad idea.
And I think
you don't make it a qualification to go to district because you still want
they would have to pick
compete.
They would have to pick real live judges, not just.
Well, maybe they need to invest in that.
I was just going to say, okay, Ian.
Because for BCAA, who are the judges? That's the part
I think they have certified judges at BCAA. They're probably not UCA or state. I don't know, but they're certified judges. They
legit judges. They're in like the all-star community and stuff like that. They're legit judges, but I don't know if they're necessarily UCA certified judges. I'm not sure. Either way, at the end of the day, if they don't want to get, the UCA judges or whatever, there's still a scorer, there's still a rubric, there's still hell. Let me judge. I don't care. You don't make a 60 at BCAA, you don't go to regionals.
Yeah, but then that goes back to tapping into the state money, like you said. That might be a committed thing. That might. I'm be quiet.
They need to, but they need to.
But they're having the competition anyway. So you're not.
Yeah,
you're really not tapping in.
In a previous episode, that brings back to what you said. The more teams that they bring, the more seats are filled with people to be there to support those teams.
The teams that ain't making the 60 ain't bringing no fans.
Well, actually, there were a few teams that didn't have 60. Well, they had 60s, but they ain't go far past that semifinals round.
And that's the thing. Those teams that's going that's making the basic minimum 60 ain't making it to finals.
No, but they literally bought fans though, because their fans were excited that the school actually made it.
They can have their own competition.
Get a smaller venue.
True enough.
Make it smaller, yeah. You don't need nothing big like that. FHSAA, get a smaller venue. And
Like,
not
okay,
too
so
small.
where-
Hold on, player. Let's go back to when not define small. Because
not Core
small
Glade.
school.
Definitely not
We
Core
be
Glade.
we be packed on the top of each other.
And mine even just
even when
they can do 2 days, and they can do both classes in those 2 days. They can do the prelims one day.
All the prelims need to be
all
done.
the prelims for both 1A and 2A in one day, and then the next day is the championship day, and they can do 1A in the morning and then 2A in the afternoon, or vice versa.
Because even like to me personally, I don't, even though you see it on, the higher level or whatever, or nationals and stuff like that, I don't like the fact that they do prelims and finals like within an hour.
Same day.
Yeah.
A lot of
they
times
don't give the
an hour.
athletes time to rest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
so a team that's gone straight to finals and a team that had to qualify for finals, it kind of be, well, it depends on your team too, because I was going to say it kind of be a disadvantage because some teams need a warm up. They need to go to that map first before they compete. And then you got some teams that need to be one and done. At the end of the day, you still running into the issue of the team that already went. They may not have a full rest before they have to go again.
Absolutely. And
so
that's
I like
always
Oh, we got comments, y'all. Hey, Andrew. And hey, Amber.
Hey, Andrew and Amber. Yeah, we knew that formula to make it to finals is for every 2 teams, one makes it. So if they're semi-group,
that's it. That's their
yeah. Because remember, that was the formula. I couldn't remember the formula, but I know there was a formula.
That would explain so much.
Boo. Stop letting all these sorry teams in. Boo.
So Andrew and Amber, what do you all think about them increasing the qualifying score for regionals? And we talked about it's the same in All-Star. They have the same, they compete. They have some that compete 3 days and some compete 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you increase the score at regionals to make it to the state, I think if that score is increased, that would eliminate a lot, and it would make the competition a little bit better. It would make teams kind of put forth more effort, because at this point, if you're having a competitive team and you're choreographing your own routine and you're not a good choreographer, no, it's not working. And then some coaches, they are pretty decent at choreographing their routines because they have that experience and they know what it is that it takes to make it to that level. Some of y'all,
pass the mic. Please pass the mic.
Not doing it with you.
it's not working. It's not. And I'm tired of seeing it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm
That's
tired of seeing
interesting. So for
the chance.
So for every 2 teams, 1 team. I'm gonna test that theory this time.
No, it aligns. However, it's really a lot of boring people.
No, I mean I'm gonna really look at it this time.
And it's a lot of teams that shouldn't make it. So yeah.
That is rather interesting. Who came up with that theory? Because I would love to know.
And also, too, you have to also understand different parts of the state. You have more of a bulk of categories, such as, like, I think the more northern teams that are
medium.
They're usually smaller schools.
And they usually do all girls because they're tumblers. They usually do varsity, all small
But
all
aren't
girls.
there a little bit more uh their schools are smaller, but they have more schools in those areas. So
And in
it's
the Central Florida usually have most of the co-ed teams. Think about it.
true.
That middle part of
Very
Florida, you have all the co-eds. Down here, so you have all the large, medium, small,
yeah.
non-tumbling teams. Very rare you will find a tumbling team that's from South Florida. Very rare. And I think Western is a tumbling team, right? I think Western
Yes. Western and Monarch.
they're all girl varsity.
Monarch crossed the co-ed for the past 2
And
years.
and Douglas is doing co-ed. Was it Douglas? What's the school that's doing co-ed this year? I think because they have like 4 or 5
I don't know
boys.
about Douglas. I know Monarch is one.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day,
What's them people? Doral does no, they're extra large. They're still
I was
non-tumbling.
about to say, aren't they the
There's
Firebird?
somebody down there that does tumbling, but I
Doral.
can't think of who it is. Or they've done it in the past, probably. I don't know. Hell.
and it's very rare that you find a tumbling team in South Florida. Very rare. Most of those tumbling teams is in that northern, almost central, coming the closer to the Central Florida is where those tumbling teams are. I know Central Florida is where you will see majority, if not all, of the
Flanagan is
co-ed teams.
Flanagan's co-ed this year?
They were.
Mm.
Flanagan was co-ed.
But
I don't know what
Flanagan
they're
only
this
had either one or two boys.
year. Hmm.
And now, remember we said about that. Andrew agreed with that. Boy, it should, if you have one boy on the team, it should be a
We
co-ed
should be
team.
co-ed. Maybe
Mhm.
they could have like a category of small, medium, and large co-ed boys where it's built on a certain number of boys. That's always a category. That'll eliminate the
1 to 2
well, not
boys would be
really
small. 3 to 4
correct.
would be medium. Anything over
Correct.
5 would be
And then
large.
that'll kind of change the tone of it. That's always a thought. So to speak.
See, that's what I'm saying, Andrew. But then we go back into the conversation of how many
We
people
had that
on your
conversation.
team
Are
that
on the same level of
tumbling
tumbling.
who we should to determine whether you should actually go tumbling or non-tumbling. But I agree, if you got a good amount of people on the team, go tumbling. Even if you have to go small tumbling, go tumbling.
But that goes back into the topic of what we talked about before, coming out of your comfort zone. And is it because it's a level of comfortability, or is it fear that holds you back from stepping outside of the box?
Usually when you're comfortable, it is fear that's keeping you from being uncomfortable.
Hmm.
And that's the interesting part about it, because once you've mastered a category, should you eventually cross over to see if you can
I
master
would
another?
get bored. I would get bored. Like, okay, I don't want this category a couple of times. Let me
A
see what I can
couple.
do in another category. Let me see what I could do somewhere else. And then go and try to do that. Of course, I'm not gonna go in a category beyond my skill set. If I don't have it, I don't have it. But I would get bored. I would really get bored.
Well, then that's where it comes in for the coach because, we say some coaches should try another category, but maybe they're not well versed or, you know what I'm saying? That's not where their
Mhm.
expertise lies at. So they haven't made the switch because they don't know how to coach it. Um, and we also got to take in consideration with tumbling. Not everybody can afford tumbling classes, and they can afford, to join a gym to go and invest in tumbling.
No, what he was saying was not to go, which was my thought for, from our past conversation, for it to go to just tumbling. But if you have the tumbling skills on your team, why are you running away from tumbling?
Yeah.
Like, if the girls on your team, not saying I'm only picking girls that tumble, but just so happen the girls that I put on my team, the majority of them are tumbling. Why am I not entering that category?
True
That's
enough.
more so what he's saying,
True
because
enough.
there are teams that sit like that, where there is, shoot, that team that Asia them was on at Dilla, because most of them girls cheered at Lakes. I want to say over half of them could
Did
tumble.
they tumble?
And no, I'm saying at Lakes they did. They would tumble on the sideline
Okay.
at Dillard, but Ernest never went tumbling.
Mm-mm.
But
No.
that group of girls, when I say tumbling machines,
And they were high level tumblers at there.
yes, like remember Asia was in gymnastics. I
Mm.
think she was like a level 5 in gymnastics. Um, I could be exaggerating, but
She
she's
was up
definitely
there.
a high level gymnast. Then you
Mhm.
had Lanice. Like we're talking about a good amount of tumblers that were like legit, real deal. Yeah, I
Hmm.
put her in the tumbling battle. Um,
With
just
somebody.
bragging right. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm only using this as an example, not to come down on Ernest, but as an example because this is what I've seen, and I'm sure he ain't the only coach that did it.
Correct.
And you see, at the games and stuff now, it's coaches that's doing it now. You have a lot of teams that's full of tumblers that's not going in the tumbling category.
But you also too, there may not be girls who tumbles don't want to do it competitively.
If you on my team and you tumbling, I say we going tumbling, guess what?
You
You
gonna
either on the
tumble.
team or you off.
Mm. Interesting. Oh,
Not
Amber
saying that,
agrees.
okay, I'm not picking you on my team because you can't tumble, but of let's say I pick 20 girls, of that 20, I have 15 that are tumbling. We going tumbling.
And the ones that can't will be stunting. Oh, okay.
Mm, swing a flag, pick up a
Something.
megaphone,
Something.
do a little choreography in the back.
So I see we
I
have some
just
I
hate.
got a random memory. So y'all know I was in performing arts at Dillard. And when we would get ready for our dance concert at the end of the year, we would have guest choreographers. And it was this
Lord.
lady that was Hispanic. And she used to be going off on us because this was like the company routine. So everybody in the that was dancing would be in this particular piece. And if you mess up, that is not my choreography. That is not my choreography. And I just thought about it. So
Terrible. Horrible, horrible,
anyway,
horrible.
so those girls that can't tumble, you might be in the bed doing a little bit of choreography.
I'm
Um,
not doing this with you.
but
I
either
think
way,
those tumbling passes are pretty much when if you're not tumbling, what you doing? Kneeling down,
on
or
a
you
knee, squatting with a flag. You might
just don't
you
be
might
doing
have
no
enough
random
girls to toss a basket.
don't don't do no random jumps. Don't do that.
Oh
Mm-mm.
God, no.
Don't be
Okay,
doing a
so
whole dance routine either.
just a few comments. Gotta go back a little bit. Andrew says, then that's when the cheer competition itself needs to be put out. Needs to put out levels that are appropriate for each team for them to enter so they can compete. And even with that being done, people will still not compete in their divisions just so they can win. It's more of a winning situation for the coach's mindset than it is for the kids. And another issue that I have is that you have so many coaches that are not credentialed and skilled for high school that it hurts my nerves, and that it's
Mm.
not fair for us to coach that are credentialed and that we can't get the position because they're taking them all at high school.
That we need somebody on campus crap.
Yeah, it is true.
In which
But
I
see,
can
that's
see
where
the
you
I
deal with
can,
administration. Remember, we
I
talked
can
about
see
administration. You
Correct.
have somebody on campus, but make them a paper pusher.
yeah, I can see the need for it. For having a coach on the campus, it does kind of give you that.
Some of them still don't do what they're supposed to do. Girls still be fighting, get in trouble, doing
But you
fool.
make them a paper pusher.
Well, then that's the problem. Then you got the wrong coach. If you don't have control over your girls, then you don't need to be coaching.
Mm, true
You make
enough.
them a
But
paper pusher.
And it's
it
And
okay if you
then
want to be a head
somebody,
coach and
but
you
that
don't
person
have.
not only has to be a paper pusher, but that person has to also be a disciplinarian to make sure that they stay in line. Because
Mhm.
although you could just push paper, if something was to go on with your cheerleaders, are they still going to follow what you say, or are you going to keep them in line, like the fear of God of them walking on campus and going from there?
Now, see, this is where it could differ for me because if I'm okay, for instance, Singletary was on campus, but Jackson wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People would go tell Singletary about JV, but Singletary wasn't really that hard on JV. Like you said, Singletary was very loving to JV, but we wouldn't mess up on campus because we knew once Jackson found out,
It was a wrap.
it was a wrap. So if you're an outside coach and you put the fear of God in them, because
When
it's
when
gonna
the
come
on
back,
campus coach told you or told them,
right?
at that point you were worried about it even being uttered to
But
your
that's
Right.
the
school.
thing. We love cheer. We love to cheer. We love to cheer for Dilla High School. These girls are not homegrown. There's a lot of girls that are not homegrown at their
They
home
cheer just to
schools.
say they're a cheerleader.
They are,
Andrew
you
said
know,
he the fear of God coach. Me too, Andrew.
Me three.
yeah. But a lot of the girls are not, they're not embedded or they're not invested in the history or just the school itself. If you think about it, a lot of these
Ah,
girls don't know nothing about it. What
I
happened?
just read Amber comment and had a damn epiphany. Sorry.
Which one? The Kelly
Okay.
D
So she said it should have she was saying it should
Be a
minimum
minimum.
have a
70.
minimum score. It should be 70. But when she said Kelly D, I had to think about it. Who came up when I asked that question? Who the hell came up with that formula? Kelly D. That's who came up with it. Got it.
Who used to be over FHSAA cheer.
And
Maybe we
so
should.
Chrissy agreed with Ish saying that 70 if you have a team that 75% of the girls tumble, then yeah, they need to be in tumbling category.
No,
Mhm.
I think Chrissy
Or
was
trying to.
with that team that Asian was on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty
Okay.
much. If you
No, because
have
I use them as the example,
But
but
if she was saying if 75% of your team can tumble, why not try the tumbling category? The worst, what's the worst that can happen? You don't do well, but you grow from it and move forward. Like you take what you didn't get and apply it and become better at it.
Well, that's
speaking
the
of
thing.
growing, so there was a controversial video that was kind of circling around on Twitter. I want to say last week sometime, and it was a coach snapping on his team, and they were football players at a championship game, and he sent the seniors to the locker room, but he made the rest of the team stay on the field and watch the ceremony of the team that actually won the game.
Mm-hmm.
And his speech was, y'all gonna sit here and see what it feels like to be runner-ups. And a lot of people didn't understand that. What I
Oh,
got from that was, you see how I feel to lose.
mm-hmm.
I sent the seniors in because they're not gonna be here anymore.
Correct.
I'm leaving y'all here because next year we don't want to be the losers. We want to be the winners. We're taking this moment to learn from it, to see how it feels to lose so we don't ever have to lose again. That's what I got from it. So going back to the tumbling, I may have a team full of back handsprings. But I have a team full of back handsprings.
Mm-hmm.
So we go in the tumbling category and we may fall flat on our face the first year, but we're going to stay and watch finals because I want them to see what we want to be next year or the years coming. And okay, you're a tumbler. Let's, go work on that tumbling skill so you could get better, so we can be better and we don't have to feel that hurt ever again. This is the standard that we need to be on in order to make sure we don't ever have this feeling of not making it to state or not making it to finals ever again. Like that's how I am about stuff. I don't mind going and losing because if I
Correct.
lose
We're teaching that
next year,
shit.
it's probably going to be better. I might not win, but if I came out with a
All
60,
about
I might
progress.
come out with a 65. The next
It's
year I
all
might come
about
out with it.
progress.
It's going to be some
Mm-hmm.
type of progress.
Well, we live in a society where participation trophies trump everything else. So I'm sure there were some people commenting on this video that were saying, "Oh, that's not fair. He's being too aggressive."
I'm
Mhm.
so sick of that. Like, I want to know, when did we get to a point in this world where we have to walk on not really eggshells, but it's somewhat of eggshells to pacify other people's feelings. I get it. Feelings may be hurt, but they are not going to be given everything in life. And at some point, they have to learn that. Really
mental
do.
health, mental health,
And it's all with balance.
everything,
It's all
everything.
with balance.
Yeah,
All the time. You're not going to
yeah.
win it all. It is not the end of the world because you did not win it. You just take what you did not get, change it, apply it, and then grow from that. There's nothing wrong with growth. And it's literally like, I just don't get it. Like, everything is this sense of entitlement is what kills me. And I think I saw it. Oh, I hate to say this. I think I saw it last year at the last season at state. I was completely God. Please forgive me, but it bothered me to the core. A school, I ain't gonna say their name, did an amazing job at regionals, but they had such a chip on their shoulder for state that they felt as though that they could just come and do the bare minimum at state. Did well in regionals, placed at regionals, came and did not have the same placement, but had the worst, not really the worst, had bad sportsmanship when they did not get the place that they felt as though they were entitled to do, but did not have the same energy, did not give the same routine as state, but felt as though because they won at regionals, it was going to be the same thing. You are supposed to treat every team when you come to state as if they are bringing their best, and you are supposed to do the same. You cannot be lax. You cannot fall back. You have to treat every routine as if every time you hit that mat, you literally have to act as if you are definitely competing with the best of the best. You don't give nobody that opportunity to beat you on that level. Period. But they had such an attitude because they did not win and they felt like they should. You should never feel that way. Those are two different levels.
That,
Regionals and state, two totally different things. The judges are totally different.
this what happened on this
Look,
week.
we done seen back to back regional champs ain't won a state yet.
Hello. And I was so bothered by that. And I
And
was
it
just trying to
happened.
understand the sense of entitlement. Like, you felt like because you placed at regionals that you was just automatically gonna get it at state. Like, those teams you went up against at regionals
Ain't go
wasn't
back
gonna
in the
bring their
lab.
best foot forward. Like you
Well, it
said, go.
happened this weekend at the state football championship. One of the
Ugh.
teams did not like the fact that they did not win state, and they threw their second place medals in the trash.
Make it
Wow.
make sense.
Wow.
That's
And my
that's
whole,
completely baffling to me.
like, I mean, as a coach, like how do you?
They coaches let them throw them in the garbage.
They were in the trash. They threw them in the trash. They were
I
that
don't want
hurt.
the hell
They
out of
lost.
that medal. I wouldn't give a damn. I'd have wore that medal because bitch, I made it. I made it to state. I might not have won, but I
But
made it.
as a coach, what are you doing? What are you doing in that moment to make it a teachable moment?
Yeah, that's my thing. How do
You
you?
take that same second place medal and guess what? Hang it in your room. So you could look at that medal every day and remember how you came to this game and that particular team stunk up the field.
Yeah,
So you'll know that in the spring, we going hard. In the summer, we going
Absolutely.
hard. We beating everybody by 50 or more, and we not taking no mercy on nobody.
At
Because
all.
next year, when we get back here, we not getting that second place. That's me. You now go get that second place trophy out the garbage, and every one of y'all better take a picture of y'all room. All y'all returners better take a picture of y'all room with that medal sitting right by your bed. So every night before you go to sleep, you can remember how you lost and stuck up the field at state. So next year we don't have this issue again.
yeah.
So there was this TV show I used to watch on Apple TV, and I can't remember what it's called, but Omar, I mean not Ice Cube's son plays in it. And the little boy in the show, I can't remember his name, but he put next to his door when he walks out, he put NBA on there. And so every day before he walks out the door to go to basketball practice, he would touch it.
You are talking about the show Shoot on Apple TV.
That's it. So he would always touch it and he would know that was his dream. And then when they lost their high school championship,
It was
um,
the national championship game.
correct. He changed the words on he changed the acronym for NBA to something else. And I can't remember what he put it. I
It
can't remember for the
was
life of me.
because it was
It was
never,
never something again. And I can't remember what the B stood for.
but it was like he added a letter or something like that because
He
I
would
I
always,
forgot what it was.
yeah,
But
he would
if you
literally
have Apple TV, go check out Shoot. Um,
he literally would touch it every time he would walk out the door. That was his inspiration. And when he lost nationals, he literally hung up. He literally had that runner up trophy near that particular thing, and that was his inspiration to never have that happen to him again. So he worked even harder to get to where he wanted to be. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to understand, like another school, they have a lot of young cheerleaders on their team, but the cheerleaders got a real wake up call at Chase the State, and so they had to learn that this ain't like the blue mat from Little League.
mhm.
That high school blue mat hit different. So
So Carl, I'm talking about Carl
Or
Coral. I'm sorry. Said at the end of the day, you teach your kids to win and to lose. A lot of people don't understand
they
that second part of
don't.
that how to lose
Is the
is
problem
so
you
important.
win
because a
and you
lot of
lose
kids
humbly,
transfer. They
because that
transfer in
feeling.
and out when they losing.
You have to learn how to lose, in my opinion, before you can
Oh
learn how
yeah.
to win.
Yep.
Because that win is so much more precious when you've learned how to lose, and
No, some
learning how
people
to
just think
lose
go to a
creates
school.
work ethic, creates that humbleness, creates that willpower and that want to win. And then once you've won, you learn how to win, but you also know how to be what's the word that I'm looking for? Um you know how to deal with the losers, for lack of better terms. You know how to, work them through it. Y'all did a great job. You know how to show sportsmanship in that winning experience because you've been the loser, before. That a lot of people don't understand how to do both. They really don't.
Mm-mm.
And it's important. That is definitely a skill that coaches should be teaching their athletes, how to lose and how to win humbly. You can celebrate, you can turn up, you can do all that good stuff when you win, but baby, when you lose,
honey.
you got to be able to sit in that feeling,
And
regroup.
don't take the feeling away from somebody else when they do.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's
Um,
poor sportsmanship.
like
Because at the end, I thought personally at the end of the game, when the team was celebrating, the one athlete was on the field like like he wanted to fight. That's how angry he was that they lost. And at the end of the day, you lost. The clock is expired. The game is over. I understand you're hurt. I understand your feelings. I understand all that stuff, but you lost. And you're gonna cry, you're gonna be mad, you're gonna be angry. All
mhm,
those feelings are acceptable when you lose. But how are you gonna fix it when you get, when it's time to get back
absolutely.
to it? How are you going to change your mindset, your mentality? How is it going to be different so you don't come to that feeling again?
Mm-hmm.
Now that is the task at hand,
What
but
do you
it
think?
also
But that's the
represents
problem with all these
leadership.
super teams. And you're starting to see it in cheer as well. You build these super teams of kids that are good and have been good for a long time just to win. So they've won for so long, so because they've been a part of super teams for so long,
Hmm.
um, they've never experienced the loss, so they don't know how to manage their feelings and their emotions for losing. And I know we're more so talking about football right now, but you're going to start seeing it in cheer because I noticed that there are teams that are recruiting in cheer because I see kids that were on teams last year
That
that
are
are
switching
new
teams.
teams this year,
Hmm.
and they stand out because you notice them where they were. So now people are trying to build super teams for cheer.
But
So
my
you're going to
question,
start seeing that as well.
but is when did we get to a point to where you are just okay, not even just okay, like you go to these, we become teams where we're just chasing rings and championships, not the sport itself. Like, is there really a love for the sport, or you just want to say that you won? And that goes in all categories. 'Cause lately, we've all seen it to where kids have transferred schools left and right, ring chasing, and just wanting state championships. And you go somewhere like cheer is a little different than football and basketball, because some kids go to schools for, to be on these super teams and never get the play time in which they are expected or been persuaded that they're going to get. But as far as like cheer, it's a little harder to say you'll be riding the bench, because everybody
You'll
everybody
become an alternate.
like, it's like, how do you say you're gonna ride the bench and cheer when everybody is being
When
utilized
I've been
in some
competing
way,
all
shape,
season
or
as
form?
extra large, and then when it's time to go to state,
You
I drop
go
all the way down to
large.
medium. The people that got kicked off the team, they riding the bench.
It's just
Nah,
it's
but I understand what you're
it's like
saying.
the love of the sport is just not there as much as it used to be. You were okay with playing at and cheering at your neighborhood school and being okay with it, adjusting to where you are. But now it's like, oh well, we ain't win, so I'm gonna go where I want to go, and I'm gonna be on this team where I know I'm gonna, win and get playing time and things of that sort. So it's like, at what point do we get back to the love of it and not just the ring chasing part of it?
Mm. But Andrew said something that can kind of tap into that's really good. He said he tell his athletes we're shooting for top 3 instead of the win. And I think that's very important because when you're shooting for the win, you know how many nuances could happen in those 2 minutes and 30
Mhm.
seconds that could keep you from winning.
Absolutely. The
And when
smallest
I say nuances, it could simply be the judge was not looking up at the time that you did something amazing in that routine
that
because they
part.
were jotting down something else, or vice versa. They were looking up when you did something bad. Like, it's just so many nuances that could keep you from first place. Or
Mm-hmm.
you could be flawless and another team could be flawless and the judges just felt like the other team was better than you.
True
Different,
enough.
it's so many nuances. So when you reach for top 3, you're going home with something for the most part, depending on what competition you're going to, because at FHSAA they only give to 1 and 2. But
Yeah,
what?
one of that's what they do. No, I'm thinking BCAA. Go ahead.
Oh, but yeah, 1 and 2 get
But
something
that's
that
like
is pretty
even
much
in
it. But at the end of the day, if you come top 3, that's that's
that's in
that's
that's
hella good.
especially with all the teams that be in the category for one. It's so many teams in the category. Top 3 is great to be. Not saying everybody has the notion of wanting to win. Everybody has that notion, but it's
Mhm.
always something that may hold you back from it. So there's nothing wrong with being in the top 3, especially when the competition is so dang close. Like for even with large non-tumbling, the top 3 be everything because literally majority of those points be so dang on close it just don't make no sense.
Mhm.
It be the smallest thing that could block you: a bobble, a fall, a point off for something as small as somebody forgot the dance routine and for a split second a sign or something.
How many times have y'all been to a competition and somebody shoot untied? Like, it just
Or
be
somebody,
so many shoe completely come off, or somebody sick and they throw up on the mat, or somebody get hurt, or it just be so
listen,
many little things that can happen in a routine
I am
that can
telling
stop
you this.
you from getting first place. Heck, it could be dreary outside, like a rainy day, and you just don't have the energy that you normally would have.
Mhm.
Like,
I'm gonna tell you
it's
this.
so
Two
many things
things
that
that
could
I've
affect
noticed.
you from winning a
Two
cheer
things.
competition.
Two things that I have noticed that has been the most smallest thing, but the most powerful thing to stop you from winning. The signs and the flags, baby. Let me tell you,
Listen,
baby.
and the
Listen,
sign monster has definitely attacked this year already.
already. Let me tell you, them is two beasts that nobody can beat. It's
Them signs
them signs
undefeated.
and them flags. Let me tell you, because baby, they undefeated. I don't care how many times we have watched. We always catch at least one team where the signs is just straight up undefeated, literally, or
And
a
in most
flag,
cases, it's upside down,
or it never goes up.
or
It falls.
but it was one particular time, and I gotta say this. Ely boy, they was the Tigers that day. No, they was the Tigris. It was
Yeah,
the E and the R. It was the Tigris,
yeah.
baby.
The
And
tiger.
we had, like, when I say we, I'm not talking about cheer chatter, obviously, but as Diller alums, because it wasn't just us, it was like everybody. We went in on that because obviously Diller and Ely are arch nemesis.
Correct.
In any sport, it could be badminton. It don't matter.
Pistol break.
Right. What's the little
It
football
don't matter.
game where they make the triangle out of paper and you put your hands up like that?
Listen,
Arch
we
arch
going in.
nemesis
We
is
is going
Ely versus
in
Dilla every time.
all the time.
Um,
We going
but
in,
when
honey.
they put up Tigres, Tigres, baby, we had a field day. Um,
I
but
just
when I
this,
say
that those are the
the
two
sign monster is
number one
undefeated.
killers that I've seen when it comes to routines and losing points. It's the signs and the flags. They undefeated. I don't care how many comps we have went to. There has been at least one team that has lost indefinitely to that particular sign. When we were at Western, I can't remember who it was, but somebody had a sign incident.
It was Della.
No,
Not this year.
not this year.
Oh, you talking about this year? I
Oh,
thought you was talking
Listen,
about 2 years
that,
cause
ago
they done
that
got
two
when
years
smart.
ago,
IT kept
baby.
getting beat up by that side, baby.
So
IT
listen,
and that
so they
A,
got smart this year because they gave her one that don't matter which way you flip it, it's still the same letter.
baby, IT was getting her behind
So
whooped by that
listen,
side. I mean, every competition when I
so
say this,
listen,
oh baby,
so this was me
Shout
at
out
Weston.
IT.
Love
yes,
her.
We love
Listen, so
IT. We love us
this
some
was
IT.
me at Dillard. I mean, this was me at Weston. I said to Shira, I said they done gave IT a sign, and regardless of which way she flip it, it's still gonna be the same letter. So Shira was like, "Oh, you so right." Gave her
Yeah.
the H, baby. No matter how you flip it, that
Cause
H is gonna be an H. It's gonna be
2
H.
years ago, baby, that A was ate that
Was
baby
not the
all the way up.
was not the move. The only letters that you can give, I love her dearly, but the only letters you can give her is that when you flip it, it's still gonna be the same letter. That N and that H and an E. It's gonna be the same way.
no, not an E now.
It might be flipped.
You'll be all right with an S. She'll be all right with
That
an S.
part. Any letter that flips and be the same way when you flip it, that's it. Cause SmackDown, she is wearing that H, honey. That is it.
And she gives so much energy when she do flip it. She is such an amazing
What?
singer.
And
Really is.
I love to see her perform, but baby, she was loud and proud with that wrong letter.
That was 2 years ago. That baby, every time we was at a competition, we was like, yep, the sign one again. And
Ever
she has
fail.
shout out to Atiani, one of the Dilla cheerleaders. She's a sweetheart. She's an
I saw her
amazing
yesterday at
I'm
testing.
sure everybody that knows Dillard knows IT.
and baby.
She's a ball of energy.
That's
She's one of
it.
the flyers. She's
Blue
amazing.
cell.
An amazing kid.
Yeah. But baby, that A that year, baby, she
All that personality in that little
she
package.
definitely was like 0 and 17.
Yes.
Literally.
She definitely
Literally.
was 0 and 17. So yeah.
I
So
just
we've
can't.
been on here for 2 hours and
As
2 hours and
always, aren't
18
we
minutes just
always?
talking. And just think about it, y'all. We didn't have no topic.
None.
None. And
None.
the topic that we said we was gonna do, we didn't even
We
get
ain't
to it.
do. We
No,
could
we
piggyback.
We'll do that next week. We'll do it next week.
We'll
Yeah.
save it for next week.
We're
But
gonna transfer it over because we ain't thinking about nothing
So
next week
now
either.
you can post it to get buzz. You can
Mhm.
reshare it and post it for buzz, so to
no
speak.
problem. So
So yeah.
yeah, so we really we had a good conversation as always.
Days and
Um
forever.
we
Go ahead.
might do a part 2 of this one. We'll see. Of us sharing our memories from cheer.
You got more memories than us. That ain't fair.
Yeah.
By the time, thanks to y'all, by the time we got to cheering, we couldn't do nothing.
Maybe I'll see if Khalil, I'll see if my best friend want to join us next go round.
Okay, is she gonna giggle the
Is
whole
she
time?
gonna talk?
She
Is she gonna
probably
giggle?
will.
Is she
I have to fix. I'm gonna talk to her.
Cause she gonna laugh
Cause
and
she
giggle
gonna just be
that part. That is Kalia all
all
day.
she do is laugh.
I'm calling her right now.
Let us pray. I already told her when we go on our trip, ma'am, you gonna have to be ready because you're gonna have to speak.
She might have
on
to be the
this
camera
channel.
lady.
She
No,
told me, I don't know, ma'am. You can't giggle on the whole show when we asking you your opinion.
she probably out and about, or she probably sleep. It's 10:20.
She probably sleep.
She liked the video. She liked the live.
She did. I did see that.
So she probably went to sleep. So I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna talk to her, see if she wanna just
Now
come make
that
a
is gonna
guest
be just
appearance.
as
So y'all
entertaining,
can see who we talk
guys.
about. She's like the unofficial 5th member of
Correct.
Cheer Chatter. So you don't really see her. You hear about her and you know about it, but you don't really see her because she just
But she is our
You
our
see her with
person
us
that
every
travels.
state, but she's not a
Correct.
part of
Cheer
cheer
Chatter.
chatter.
She's
Yeah.
the 4th person that's always in our pictures of our matching outfits, which we need to decide what we're gonna do. because the time is coming. The time
is winding down.
It is. So we need to decide.
So we gonna talk because I feel like one day we gotta be chit chatter and the other day we still gotta be Dilla alum.
That part.
Or maybe we get like a chit chatter hat and do a Dilla alum outfit.
I don't know. Vice versa.
We gotta figure out something because we still gotta be chit chatter, but at the end of the day, we still gotta rep Dillard. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We got to figure it out.
Puts us in a tough spot these days. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, ladies, it has always been a pleasure, like always, just having this conversation and experiencing Cheer Chatter with you both. I know y'all like, okay, it was 4 last week. Now we're down to 3. As always, Sarah,
double books herself.
We gonna get her right. We gonna get her right. I promise you, we gonna get her right. So, yeah, just pray for all of us, including her, so that we can get our baby together.
And y'all warm weather, can y'all just blow it up here just a tad bit? Just
terrible.
Just a little bit, because it's cold. When I get up in the morning, it's gonna be 31 degrees.
Oh, hell no. We had slight cold weather last week.
Y'all gonna get some this week.
Like it was like real slight.
It's a cold front coming through, so y'all gonna get
good because I want to wear my boots.
All my boots down there.
Oh, that sucks.
I need a care package sent.
No, that's not a care package. That's care furniture.
That's essential.
That's gonna need a whole U-Haul station for itself, ma'am.
That's essential. We'll talk off camera.
Yeah. Alrighty.
As always, cheer chatterers. We'll see you next time.
Cheer chatter, yay! It's our new thing now.
Cheerfully yours. Peace.
Do I have your attention? Do I have your attention? Do I have your attention? 3, 2, let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We're reaching for the top, and we'll never fall